gonna stay right here. We're gonna come to all of your city town halls.
It's an exquisite tension, being so close to someone you hate so much, wanting to punch them, knowing you can't. Though sometimes they come close. This is as violent as it gets. One side speaks Spanish, the other, the language of the so-called alt-right.
Now he's a beta cuck! Now he is a beta cuck!
If you hang around this protest long enough, you realize many on both sides actually know each other. They've seen each other before, on other nights, at other protests in other cities. This evening, a town hall meeting in Kudahy has become the unlikely stage for a proxy war over an issue that has divided the state.
Why are you pointing fingers at me? You're calling me an illegal? No, I'm not. Whoever comes in here has to follow the law.
Even divided Latinos. The idea of sanctuary. In the 1960s, Kudahy, about 12 kilometers east of Los Angeles, was a manufacturing town, mainly white. Now, about 90% of its residents are Latino. More than a year ago, Kudahy declared itself a sanctuary city. There is no set definition, but generally in sanctuary cities, if an undocumented person gets arrested for anything but a very serious crime, local police won't tell federal immigration. Which makes some Californians, like Joseph Turner, angry. Why protect people who broke the law, he says.
When you look at sanctuary cities, they essentially allow lawlessness to take place. They put American citizen lives at risk by allowing illegal alien criminals to return to our streets, and that's unacceptable.
Donald Trump has threatened to withhold federal funding from sanctuary cities, but the courts have basically said he can't. Now, Turner thinks he's found a way to punish sanctuary cities using the city's own laws.
You guys are not going to stop me. I know you guys are playing games already. I know the city attorney is playing games already.
Turner, who doesn't live in Kudahy, has filed an initiative.
I can come after utility user tax, I can come after the sales tax, I can file an initiative on other things and go after you guys' salaries, I can cap executive compensation. There's a whole host of things I can do.
If it gets enough signatures, he can repeal a utility tax that generates $1 million a year, a big chunk for a small city. His message to other sanctuary cities, he's coming for them too.
This is sort of our beachhead. If we can make this work here, we can get some traction and some positive momentum and take it to other nearby cities that have a similar demographic profile and also have a sanctuary city status.
In the end, Kudahy is unlikely to vote itself broke. The city, the council, is almost all Latino. But even areas that voted for Trump may not be able to escape being labeled as sanctuaries against their will. If you're driving north from Los Angeles and you want to find Trump voters, look for the pump jacks or the farm crops. And when you see both in the same field, you're in Kern, the biggest Republican county left in California. Sitting around a table in a mini mall, a couple of old friends complain about the so-called illegals.
It's whoever wants what for free gets it.
They're thrilled that the president is fulfilling his promise to crack down on illegal immigrants. Since the president took office, the number of arrests is up nearly 40%. And it's about time, according to this former cop.
You don't let people invade your country.
For too long, he says, undocumented criminals have been coddled by state politicians in Sacramento.
There's too many people up there that are too liberal, that are willing to give our country away or our state away.
Exhibit A, he says, soon the state's legislators may approve a bill that would make California the nation's first sanctuary state. That would make it illegal for any local police to investigate, detain, or arrest people for immigration enforcement purposes. And that has angered many sheriffs across the state.
We're not looking for a fight with the federal government.
Kern County is the first jurisdiction in California to officially oppose sanctuary status.
If we don't work with the federal government, some of these criminal immigrants that are here illegally will be released back in our community and create more victims.
Cities in California that oppose state sanctuary are in a quandary. If they cooperate with federal immigration, the state could cut funding. If they don't, they could be targeted by the Trump administration.
We will have the federal government saying one thing with regard to this, and we'll have the state government saying an entirely another thing. So what would you do?
With more than a dozen states contemplating sanctuary state measures and nearly twice as many having introduced bills to ban them, the conflict may ultimately be decided not by politicians, but by judges.
Build that wall! Build that wall!
In the meantime, Turner's group will stir up more sanctuary cities, disrupt more town halls, hoping to get residents to defund their own communities.
White supremacists, back to Europe! White supremacists, back to Europe!
And the pro-sanctuary activists vow to track them, to stop them if they can. Both sides driven by incompatible ideas of what it means to be American. Kim Brunhuber, CBC News, Kudahy, California.